So my name is Mary, once again, a pastor of Holy Ghost Christian Center Impact House. We are located in PA, and we're going to dive into the training right now. First, I want to ask a question. I want to ask everyone a question. How many of you here, how many people here understand the power of real estate? How many of you here, how many of us on this call understand the power of real estate? And if you understand, you can just put a summary in the chat. I want this to be interactive at some point. At other time, I want it to be quiet so that we can flow. But when it's time to interact, let's interact. So I want you to put it in the chat if you have, you understand the power of real estate. Every one of us, we know real estate, right? Everyone here, we know, we have heard about it, either practically or virtually, whichever way you have heard the word real estate investing. So today, we're going to be breaking it down, but I want you to give us like a hint of what you're understanding about real estate, how powerful you think this business model is. You can put it by very powerful. Oh, I just think it's great. I just think it's nice. Any comment at all, please. I want you to put your comment in the chat. How powerful is real estate investing to you? How much of real estate do you understand? So that is the meaning of this question. And I'm looking forward to your response to this. I would like this to be interactive. Please put your response. How powerful do you think real estate investing is? How powerful? Very powerful, and it builds generational wealth. Wow, this is a great response. Very powerful, and it builds generational wealth. I'm waiting for other people to put in their comments. How powerful is real estate investing to you? Or how do you understand the power of real estate investment? So while I wait for other people to put in their comments, okay, hi everyone. I am a novice. I'm here to learn everyone. Okay, sir. Okay, we got it. Thank you for that comment, sir. We appreciate that. So okay, I think it's speaking for some people that they cannot say anything right now about it. They can't really bring forth any judgments. Okay, from Becky. Becky says, real estate is real for real. Absolutely. That's the slogan. Real estate is real and it's for real. Yes. So profound. Real estate is real and it's for real. So I believe some other comments are coming in. Real estate to me is the future. Absolutely. It's even now. Yeah, now and the future. I'm willing to learn and build future income. Absolutely. So yeah, these are great comments, very powerful, and it also gives you financial freedom, generational wealth, cash flow. Awesome, amazing comments in the box. Thank you so much for chiming in with those comments. I really appreciate this interaction. Thank you. I appreciate you all. So now we're going to dive into today's talk on real estate investing. And we are starting, I'm going to share my slide. Let me start sharing. Okay, so if you can, okay, so this slide sharing would not allow me to see you guys. I want to be able to connect and see some. Anyways, so if you can see my chart, let me do this. Because I will not be able to see comments right now. Is Minister Margaret Okonla online? Please, can you help me manage the chat box? If you see anything, because now I'm sharing my slide and it's kind of like I'm not seeing the whole thing. So I'm also joining on other device to be able to see what you guys are saying.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So, okay, 1 second. I think I'm not sharing at all. Okay. Escape. So please give me a few seconds to get this shared. Okay, so I think you can see this slide now. It's kind of slow. I don't know what's going on. Okay, thank you. As we can see my application now. So here I want it to be bold so that you can see it well. Yeah, yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is just about me. I'm the owner of Maradis Real Estate LLC. I do invest in real estate and I coach on how to build wealth with real estate and other business model. Today I want to see everyone here as fearless investor. This is my term. If you want to make it big and make it big in life, you have to be fearless because nothing comes without risk. So I want to encourage you today. We are starting a journey that is going to be fearless. So be ready. What you will learn today, you will be learning real estate as a vehicle to financial freedom. I think I'm going to end here. So you'll be learning real estate as a vehicle to financial freedom. You'll be learning how to invest in real estate with zero out of pocket. You'll be learning real estate investing strategies. What strategies are people using to create a life of freedom with real estate? You will also be learning how to get funding for your deals. When I say deals, I mean properties. So how to get funding for your deals. Next slide, me. So why do we invest in real estate? Why? There are so many benefits for everyone investing in real estate, not buying your own your primary property, but an investment property. With primary property, you have some benefit, but we are talking about the investment part of it. So we invest in real estate for tax benefit. When you own property, maybe rental property, you can write some deductions. You can write off your depreciation, property depreciation over time. We also benefit asset appreciation. Your property that you buy today, maybe for 120,000, in the next 5 years, may be worth 120, maybe worth 220, maybe worth even more, maybe worth a little bit less, but the property will appreciate either ways. We also benefit equity. Equity is amount of money. I'm going to go into all of this in detail, but just so we just understand that you will benefit equity, cash flow, leverage, retirement, little to zero money. These are the benefits that you get when you invest in real estate. Tax break, just the way I explain it, you deduct your mortgage interest that you paid over the year, the repair amount, all your expenses for repairs, and your insurance. When you are filing your taxes, you can take deductions of these items. Depreciate property. They always calculate that based on the percentage of the year. So maybe if your house has been over 27 years, you can deduct claim depreciation. Reduce taxable income. So now, when let's say you are making a lot of money and you have multiple rental property, so this would reduce how much taxes you're going to be paying because they're going to take out a lot of deductions from your mortgage interest to repairs to insurance and all of that other expenses. So that will shrink the amount of money Uncle Sam will take from your income for that year. Asset appreciation. So this happens in different ways. You can force it. It can be regular. Regular is when you buy a property and you just hold it. You bought a property and you keep it for a long time. The property will appreciate. But in these days, we don't wait for, in real estate investing, we don't wait for that. You can do that if that is your model. I'm going to go deeper into that. But for some fearless investors, for some of us who are fearless, we are not waiting for 5-10 years before the property appreciates. We force appreciation. And I'm going to elaborate on that, how you force appreciation on a property. Then properties increase in value over time is appreciation. Increase value through renovations. You forced it, you renovate. Build wealth as property values rise. So you continue to take money from the property that appreciated. Maybe you refinance, maybe you do cash outs, maybe you do ELOC. You take money from that property and go and invest in another property. Equity. So I'm going to explain what is equity. So when you buy a property, maybe you buy the property for 120K, and after 5 years, the property is worth 200K. You have paid down your loan to 90K. The difference between the current value of your property and your balance, your loan balance is your equity. I repeat, let's say you buy a property at 120K, and after 5 years of you owning the property, it has appreciated. The new value now is no longer 120, it's now 200K. And at this time, you now have only 90K left in the amount of loan you are owning on that property. So the difference between the current value of that property, which is 200K, and your loan balance is what we call equity. So, and this is a calculation for the formula for equity. Equity is equals to property value minus loan balance. And what we do with equity is we use it to scale up. You use it to scale up, buy other properties, buy other, assets. Cash flow, you may be asking me, what is cash flow? You just said cash flow in the other slide. Cash flow is the amount of money you are making on the property every time. Give me a second. Every time you are making on the property, every time your renter pay some money, every time your renter pay up their rent every month over month. I need to turn off the camera. So every month, when your tenants are paying their monthly rent, when they're paying their monthly rent, what you get is called, maybe say the tenant is paying 1,500, and your loan, your mortgage on that property, maybe is you're going to pay your monthly mortgage and taxes, maybe it's just 1,000. The 500 that is left is your cash flow. So this is going to happen as you continue to build your portfolio. It's going to increase over time. It's going to increase over time. It's not going to be the same 500 you started with. Let's say you now have multiple property. We're going to get there. I'm going to do some analysis so that we all understand what the power of this cash flow and equity and other items. So now, leverage. What we call leverage, some people may be confused and say, what is leverage? Leverage is you cashing out some money from your current properties. Going back to the example of the property we just stated, with the purchase price of 120, and now the property has appreciated to 200. You can go to a lender and say, okay, I want to cash out, refinance my property. What they're going to do for you is they're going to give you a loan of 75%. This property we're talking about now, you are not having any loan on it, right? It's a property that now you own for free. We are not talking about you still have balance of 90K. Say the property, you own it for free. You can cash out 75% amount of that property. Say we are looking at 200K as the new value of that property. So you can go to the bank and say, I need to cash out and refi. So that means you're taking a loan, a mortgage against that property. You are using that property as a collateral. So they're going to loan you up to 75%. So they're going to give you 75% of that property value, current value. In this case, maybe 175. I don't know what 75% will be, but whatever, that is your cash out. So they give you that money and you go and use that money to reinvest. You buy more property. And with this, you can control your investment strategy by taking money from one property, going to the next, and you keep building. So you can have multiple assets with just small amount of capital that you started with. Remember, say, maybe you started with that, maybe 90K. I'm going to break it down, but I just want you to understand all this item individually. So as we dive in, you are cleared when we get to the practical step. So you have this money that you cash out and you can go and invest on another property, buy other property. Remember, you're starting with one property. After your cash out refi, you're going to buy another property. It's going to be two. You're going to do that again and go and refi and you buy. So you keep doing that. Now that is what we call leverage. You're leveraging other people's money. You're leveraging your current appreciation. You're leveraging the assets that you have now to build more portfolio, to build a bigger portfolio for yourself. Retirement plan, property wealth for the future. So I know that some of us, we are into stock, we are doing other investment, but real estate investing has been proven over time to be the strongest business or investment that will give you a certainty even in the future. So you can rely on it. You can plan your life around your real estate income. You can plan your retirement with real estate income. So I know we all have some of us have 401k is good, but this is a way that you can really do it big without relenting on government money or what other income. So with this, you are going to use your property as a collateral, to access cash. You're going to reinvest the fund into more deals, buy more deals, and then you still control bigger assets. There's a term we use in real estate, the modern real estate investing, which was not like that, say in the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. We call it OPM, other people's money. OPM stands for other people's money. This is how you build your real estate investment or portfolio using other people's money. Using other people's money. Who are those people that you'll be using their money? Hard money lender. We call it hard money. Hard money lender, they are lenders that are asset-based. They are asset-based lender. They are not going to ask you to go and bring your W-2, your proof of income. They are not going to look at your tax return. They are not going to look at your personal debt. Maybe you have some debt in credit card and all of that. The most important thing to them is the property and your credit score. Your credit play a huge role with this lender. They are going to fund you on your deals if you have strong credit history. You have good credit score, that you pay your bills on time, you pay your loans on time, you have good credit score. They have a requirement, and it varies from one lender to another lender. But the minimum for some of them will be 620. It will be 620, 640. Some of them will ask for more. And some of them will ask for less based on if you have experience. You have been doing this, but they still need your credit to be in good shape. Another type of lender, other people's money that we use is private money. What is private money? Private money is money from individuals. They can be business, but individuals, direct lending that you are not, this is not hard money. This is just like a friend, people around you that are keeping their money in the bank. The bank is paying them 0.25 interest rate. And now you have a property that you're going to profit, and you can share your profit with them. So you are calling them, hello, I have a project I'm going to invest on, and I want you to be partner, to be a private lender on this this, I'm going to pay you up to 12%, up to 10%, depending on the amount. I mean, depending on your agreement, but it's usually start from 8%, 8%, 10%, 12%. You can go higher if they are lending huge part of that project. Say they are funding the whole cash needed. So this varies, but it's going to based on agreement. And with this private lender, because they are family and friends, does not mean we're just going to collect their money and we are doing business. No, you're still going to do it in a legal way. You're going to sign promissory note stating that you're collecting money for them for this purpose. You're going to use that property as a collateral. In your promissory note, you're going to identify the property they are lending on. And you're going to notarize that. You have to notarize that. When you notarize that, it becomes it becomes a legal document. So in case you default, you are not paying them their money. That property, they have right to that property. So that property cannot be sold without them. You have to make sure so they can come after that property. So this is how we get private money. We get money from our friends, from our colleagues, our people around us who want to make more money instead of what the bank is giving to them. You want to pay them 10%, 12% instead of 0.2% in 6 months, in 4 months, in 8 months, in 12 months. But usually we say 6 months for the project. But sometimes it goes a little bit over, sometimes it sells faster. But regardless, it's going to be on your mutual agreement, your agreement in working with them. So they're going to agree to a term. You let them know, you walk them through what you do, and let them agree to it if it works for them. So another type of other people's money is seller financing. Seller financing is a way where is a system where somebody is they are selling their property because maybe they want to just dismiss it, not because they are in need of cash, right? You are coming to buy that same property, but you are buying it with the lender funding it, with the seller funding it. So this way, the seller is selling the property. Maybe they are selling it for 150K, and you are coming to buy it and say, okay, I'm going to buy this property from you, but you're going to be my bank. In other words, you can say, you're going to be my bank. If they accept that, if they agree to that, they are going to be your bank. So you don't have to come up with any fund from your account, from your end. They are going to fund it. So you're just going to be paying them month by month and based on the agreement. Some of them would ask you for some cost to cover the closing costs and all of that. But over time, you can see that the amount of money you're going to bring is just going to be a small amount, not like the regular lending process where you need to bring chunk of money to the table to close the property. Another strategy, how we use OPM, other people's money, is partner with other investors. Partnership, you can partner with other investors. You can have somebody who is really practically doing real estate. They are investing, they are buying property. You can say, hey, I have this money sitting down in my account. My bank is just paying me 0.25%. I want to partner with you on this project. They can bring the deal to you. You partner with them and you come to an agreement of the sharing formula. The sharing formula is based on your mutual agreement, how you're going to split it. If they are bringing the whole amount of their whole fund, the whole amount of money needed to complete the project, is going to be different. The profit sharing is going to be different to if they are bringing part and you are still going to get the part and you're still going to go after some money to get the deal done. In other ways, people do it this way. Somebody is coming up with the money. It's going to I'm going to fund the money. I'm going to fund the deed. I don't have the time to go after the property to renovate. I don't have the time to monitor contractors, but I have the money. I can bring the money to the table and you would do the work. You would manage the project. It can be either ways. And you can both do it, put the money down, work on the project and get your money. Is still a type of partnership. Partnership is a very strong way to build multi-million investment portfolio. because there is power in coming together when you work with other people who have what you don't have. It's a way to leverage. We leverage each other. They leverage your skills, you leverage their money, or they leverage your money, you leverage that. So either way. Then another one we are talking about today is creative deals. Creative deals. So what are creative deals? They are, let me say you have a property that somebody want to rent out. You find a rental property. You can talk to that person and say, hey, I'm going to rent this property, or maybe this, it can be rent, it can be sale. Maybe they want to sell it. You can say, I'm going to buy this property from you, but I'm going to be paying monthly, just like seller finance. But in this case, you are going to still sell that property to another person, or it can be rent. You can rent the property from somebody at under market rate. Let's say the property is worth $2,000 in rent, and they are willing to rent it to you at $1,500. You can take it from them and say, okay, I'm going to rent this property, and then you're going to make arrangements with another person to rent that property from you, and they are going to be paying you monthly, and you pay the seller until a time of this. Usually is always a short time. It's not going to be 30 years, 20 years. It's usually around 3 years, 5 years before you take hold of that property in case you're buying. This is case of purchase. You can also do rent to own. You can rent the property and say, I'm going to rent this from you, but with an intention to buy it later. I have an intention to buy this property. So you're going to make arrangement. In that case, they're going to provide 2 documents for you. One is the rent on the rent part of the deal. You are renting, you are a renter. On the other side, they're going to provide another one, which is a contract agreement for purchase, that you are going to purchase this property, but you're going to put some amount of money as down payment. You're going to put some amount of money as down payment. And then at certain time, you're going to take over the loan. You're going to you're going to buy the property. It's also creative financing. You can do that. Another way is somebody want to sell their property. You want to take over the loan. Maybe they are under some financial situation where they just need to get out of that monthly payment. You can come in and say, I'm going to take this property from you. I'm going to take over the property, but in this case, you are taking over the mortgage. So wherever they are in their mortgage journey on that property, you take it over, and you're paying the mortgage. Now you are now the owner of the mortgage, but you are not completely owning it. You're like the owner, but under the original owner. This is also based on the bank that the original owner get the property from. Some companies, some banks will not allow that. They always put a clause in their loan documentation that you cannot do that. If they can do that, you will be paying your monthly payment to them. While they are stepping aside, you are now the new owner. But what happened is, in this case, how do you benefit? You are not bringing chunk of money to take over the property. You're just going to leverage their money, what they already have going on. And most of the time, it comes with very low interest rates. It comes with very low. Maybe they bought the property like 5-10 years ago. The interest rate was 3.2, 2.0, 3.5, like that, and they are handing it over to you. You're not going to be paying the current interest rate, which is about 6% upward. But you're going to be paying whatever they give you, but it's going to be far lesser than the current interest rate. So we're going to look at a scenario. This is going to be a bit practical. I want us to pay attention. We're going to look at a scenario. What can happen when we build our business in a leverage manner? When we invest as fearless people who are not afraid of what is coming, but people who can see far beyond anyone else, who can take advantage of the current economy and build something that will last forever or for a long time. So we are going to be looking at this scenario. Let's look at a scenario where, so somebody at this point may be kind of asking question, how do we even do this? How do we do this investment? So right now I'm going to use these numbers to walk you through how you can build a real estate portfolio in the next 10 years. Your children will thank you for it. You will thank yourself for it. You will be able to look back and say, okay, at this point, I have done well. You will pat yourself in the back. So now we are taking a purchase price. Like we are going to the market, maybe on Zillow, you pull up a property they are selling at 90K. And let me say this before we go forward. This is just a scenario, a case study. It's not like you're going to go in the market and find the exact property for 90,000 and you're going to, maybe the cost price is always 55,000 or the total investment will always be, no, it varies it depends on the purchase price and the amount of work the property will need, and also the appraised value of that property. What do I mean? The ARV, after repair value. So when you finish the property, when you finish everything, you have done what you need to do, what the property will worth is called ARV, after repair value. So purchase price is the amount you buy the property. Your rehab and other cost is the amount you spend on renovation, on closing cost, on the utility that you paid while the property is under construction or renovation. Maybe also your rental fee and all of that, other fees that come in. That is your rehab and other cost. Total investment is the amount of money you invest in total in the first phase of this project. ARV is your after repair value. After you have done all the renovation, the property now is no longer at the point where you bought it. It has really you have added a lot of value. Maybe you changed the roof, maybe you added new flooring, maybe you do some dry walls, replace the windows, replace the mechanicals in that property, the furnace, the hot water tank, the HVAC, whatever you do is categorized under your expense, under the, so now the property has moved from 90K to 210,000 because you have spent some time and money and energy to add value to that property. And this can be done in the space of 4 months and 6 months. We take 6 months as a standard, but it can be done even in 2 months. It can be done 3 months. It can be done 6 months. It can be done 1 year, depending on the condition of that property. So now, let's say we go on Zillow, on Redfin, on Realtor.com, on Facebook Marketplace, everywhere you can find properties that are under market value. I want to say this. This purchase price is not the actual, so you are not looking for a property that is ready, they already painted, is ready to move in. You are not looking for a property ready to move in. With this type of strategy, you are not looking for property that is ready to move in, because you are looking for something that you can add value to and change the price from what is currently worth to worth more money than the current value. So you're going to look for under market value property. Under market value property are property that we call them fixer-upper, property that needs some work. They're not looking good, but they are in a good location. They have good bones. They have good structure, sound, no foundational issue, whatever it is, but you can add value to other things that are not okay in that house. Maybe it's just like flooring. The flooring it's not looking good. They have water issue in the house, water coming to the house. They have, the bathroom, things that are not really, and then you look at it and say, when I finish working on this property, I can actually make 210. And this is not what you decide you just by your by your instinct. It's not what you decide by feeling. This will be according to numbers. So we call it market analysis. So you have to understand how to analyze a property, even while you're looking at it on Zillow, before you make any step to buy it or to put it under contract. You have to understand how much the property will worth. And my coaching student, I train people how to do it in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, you can tell by looking at a property. In under 15 minutes, you can tell how much the property will worth. You will look at it, you will run your numbers, do some work with, and these are with just ordinary tool that everybody have access to. Zillow, Trulia, Redfin. We use them for market analysis. And how do we do that? We look at that area, that location where the property is located. Say now we find a property that is being listed at 90,000. They want to sell it at 90K. I'm going to go on Zillow and I'm going to pull some comps. It's called comps, comparables. So comparables are the houses, the same, similar houses that are sold in that same area, that same location within the last 6 months. And in some cases, if you cannot find last 6 months, you can do 1 year. But I will stay within 6 months, because by the time you finish your project, it will no longer be 1 year. If you take 1 year comps. So I'm going to look in that area, properties that are under 1 mile to that my property, that are not on the other side of the area, not crossing major road, major highways. They are within the same location, that were sold in the last 6 months. And I'm going to look at how much those were sold. I'm going to look at what they did to them. How is the interior looking? Did they finish everything, change new flooring, add new appliances, change the roof, do a lot of things that make it pop up? Or they just did barely minimum. They just painted, they just do some little work in the kitchen and just sold it. So you're going to look for those property and see what they sold for. What they sold, what tells you a story. It's telling you a story about your own property, how much your property is worth. If you do it based on this rehab level, let's say somebody that did their own, they finished it, all new garage door, all new flooring, all new paint, all new windows, they changed mechanicals, they new exterior, they did a lot of work, and the property sold for 210. Maybe there's another one that they just did some small work. They painted the cabinet. They just changed part of the flooring, some flooring. They leave some flooring. They use carpet instead of, maybe they use carpet. They use carpet in their living room, and they are sold for like 180 or 170. So that tells you that if you get this property at 90K, if you just do the work that this person did to this property, you're going to get almost the same amount. It can be more, it can be a bit less, but you are not outside the pricing for that area. And the areas are different, locations are different, markets are different. So you have to understand the market. I'm going to get there soon. You have to understand that market and see what sold, how much they sold, for you to make that decision of buying it before you even go in and look at what is needed to repair. Let's say after you have analyzed it, you saw that, oh, this is going to be good. And then you go into the property and you find out you're going to spend about 90,000 to renovate it. At that point, you know that it will not worth your investment, because you can only spend around 55K to bring it to a profitable part where you can pull out money and still continue to invest, or where you can sell it and still make out a chunk of money. So in this case, we found the property at 90K. We are going to put our estimate for rehab at 55K, and total investment is 145 with other expenses, and the property will be worth 210 when we finish working on it. What this means is that when I'm done with my renovation, I can put a tenant in that property. You already find out your rent amount, how much it's going to rent. I can put a tenant in that property and then approach the bank and say, hey, bank, I am going to refinance this property. Bank will tell you they can refinance up to 75%. This is based on your credit worthiness. This is based on other factors, but this is the average. This is like the regular that we are seeing. Cash out refinance for 75%, and that is going to be 157,000. So now let's look at it. You bought the property at 90, you put 55K, the total expense is 145, and ARV is 210. Now you are cashing out, you are refinancing the property. You are cashing out 157,500. That is your own money. 157,500 is the amount of money you're taking from that property because they want you to leave 25% in the property as a collateral. They know that your property is worth 210, but they're not going to give you 210. They're going to give you 157, like 500, the 75%. So with that 157,500, you are going to pay off all the loans, the people that you collected money from with their interest. The hard money loan, if you have private money, what we do in this business is you use hard money for the 90,000 to buy. And you can use other people's, hard money can fund you total, everything, but there's a little part that needs to come from you. You can use private money, or your friend, your colleague that have 20K somewhere, they want to have 12% in the next 12 months. 6 months. You can take it and put it as your own part of contribution. So now, when you cash out 157,500, you are going to pay off all of these debts, 145,000. And you are left with 12,500. That is your pocket money. This 12,500 is not taxable. It's not, nobody's going to tax it. You're not going to pay tax on this 12,500. It's your gas money, your pocket money, your sweet spot money. And then what happened is that you are not looking at other benefits that you're going to benefit other than that 12,500. This property is rented for 2,000. It's rented for 2,000 every month. Maybe your mortgage, your expenses, and everything comes to about 1,500. Every month, you're still going to be taking 500 on this property every month. And you still have your equity, the 25% that the bank did not give you on that property. And it will keep appreciating to increase your equity. So, on this property, your monthly cash flow is $500 every month. You have $500 every month you get from your rent. So now we are looking at 10 years. Let's look at 10 years. In the next 10 years, what is it going to be? What will start? So let's say we start from here. Annual cash flow. So if you are taking 500 every month, that is 6,000 monthly passive from that property, just one property. And this is, you have done your rehab strategy. I'm going to take it a little bit because of some people that are new to this. I want you to be able to grab some key terminologies. In real estate investing, we have different strategies. I'm going to teach that as we keep progressing. But cash flow, remember, is your monthly profit from your investment, from a property or properties. So after you have paid all your debts, your loan, your invested amount, your taxes, your insurance, whatever you're paying on that property, utility, if you're paying utility, what is left is your cash flow. And that is going to be coming in every month. So in this case, you own this property for 1 year, you already have 6,000 every month. 500 every month, which compounds to 6,000 yearly. And you're going to repeat the process. Remember, you have taken out your money from that property, all the money you invested. So this property now, you don't have any money in it. Your personal money did not stay in that property. You are owning that property free, like from your pocket, but you are having mortgage on it. So you are not using your savings. You're not using the money you have saved for the last 10 years, 5 years to buy the property, and then you are waiting again to do it after another 5 years or 2 years. You practically own this property free. but you have mortgage on it. Bank will have you pay them, but you're getting paid on that property every month when your tenant pays their rent. And this is what we call BRRRR. BRRRR strategy is one strategy that we use in real estate to build rental income and to build financial, to create financial freedom, to create financial security. BRRRR strategy is the strategy that we use to build strong financial future with real estate investing. And it means the first B stands for buy. You're going to buy the property. Remember how we come in? We bought. The first R is rehab. After you bought the property, you rehab it, or in another word, you renovate it. The second R is rent. So you have bought this property, you've renovated it. Now the property is rented. Refinance. This is a step where you now go to the bank to take your 75% out. So remember, the 75%, 157,500, you are at this step. And the last step is that you take, after you've taken all your money out, you've paid all the debt, you go and pick up another property and do the same again. Repeat the process. So let me go again with BRRRR strategy. BRRRR strategy stands for you buy the property. We bought it at 90K. We renovate it and with other expenses at 55K. You rent it out at $2,000, $2,000. You refinance, you collect your money out, you take your money out, 157,500 with some profit, with 12,500 profit. And you go again and repeat the process. So you're starting with one property. Now, when you go and do it again, it's no longer one property. You have another property. Then you take the capital again, you go again. You recycle the same. You go to the add money, wherever you're getting the money from, do another property again. So this is what we call BRRRR. BRRRR strategy is called BRRRR. You're borrowing a property. You're going through a BRRRR process. There are 5 steps or 5 stages of BRRRR. First stage is you buying stage, where you are buying, where your realtor is talking to the lender, the seller, and you're doing all those negotiations. Once it's done, you move to the second phase or second stage, which is rehab. You start renovating, you get contractors, The third stage is you now rent it out to a tenant, people who will pay. You have to do your due diligence, do screening. I teach my people how to do real screening. If you cannot screen tenant, why people are frustrated with rental properties right now is because they are not screening the tenants. You have to screen, check their credit score, check their rental history, call their former landlord, look at their income, how long have they been employed. Then look at their credit history. Not just look at the credit score. They may have 720 credit, 657 credit score, and having like 50% or 30% on-time payments. So you have to look at the on-time payments. How are they paying their rent on time? Really matters. Somebody may have 579 credit score and they are paying their bills on time just because they made a mistake in their credit journey. Maybe their credits dropped to that point. And another person have very good credit score, because they are just coming out of some situation, they pay their, but they are not good with their payment, on-time payment, because as a landlord, your concern will be how you get your rent every month. So you have to look at those items when you're looking at their credit report. Then you now move to the phase of refinance. You're refinancing the property, getting the invested amount out with some profit, and go to repeat phase where you just go ahead and repeat the process. So now we're talking about 10 years leverage, how to build a portfolio with rental property. You can, I'm still coming to other strategies, but with rental property, how it's very strong. Like you can build retirement with rental property. How do you achieve financial freedom with real estate in 10 years. You can set a goal of 10 years. I say 10 years, in 10 years time, I want to be financially free. In 10 years time, I want to just retire. In 10 years, I just don't want to work for anybody. And that does not have to do with age. You don't have to wait until you're 65, you're 70 before you attain financial freedom. We can plan it. We can work it out. We can be diligent and stay and achieve this. It is possible. The Bible tells us that all things are possible to those who believe. So number one is that you must believe that it's possible, and then you do your due diligence, you do your hard work, and you let God breathe on it. So we are looking at 10 years plan. We talked about, I hope everybody understand the strategy of BRRRR, how you buy property, renovate it, and refinance it. So now you already had one property in 6 months, remember, and you go again, you do it in another 6 months. You now own 2 property in 1 year. You own 2 properties in 1 year. So I think I'm seeing some things in chat. Please, is there anything in chat? So are you people, is everyone hearing me? Am I audible enough? I hope there's no glitch anywhere. I can't see the chat box, but yeah. Okay, I think I can see it now. I'm trying to see. Okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah, audible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, thank you. So now we are looking at 10 years picture. We are projecting the next 10 years. I just don't want to work for anybody. I just want to be financially free. Or even though you have whatever you're doing, you want to keep it going, but you want to make sure that you have something, that you're not panicking, you're not afraid. If whoever you're working for say bye-bye, goodbye, go and rest, you are not in a panic mode. So with 10 years plan, 10 years projection, you can work with real estate and be financially free. And how does that happen? 2 property in 1 year. So you have done 2. See, this is what I want to say. When we started this training, I tell you that I want everybody to come with an open mind. If you believe it's possible, it will be possible. But if you say, how can this happen? 20 property in 10 years? Is it cake? Is it biz? Please, people are owning 100 property, 150 property is in 10 years. Yes, I have them by my, close to me. So it's something that is very doable, 100% doable, except that person is not disciplined or they are not really focused. So now we're looking at 10 years projection. We are buying 2 property every year with cash flow on each one of them, maybe 6,000 yearly. The first year you're going to cash flow, monthly cash flow, let's put it at 10,000. Maybe you have other cost and whatever. On those 2 property, you have maybe 10,000 cash flow. Then you have, monthly. So now we are looking at 20 properties in 10 years. So every month, as your tenants are paying, you're receiving money, right? You're getting some cash flow. So for those 20 property, every year that your 20 property pays, that people pay their rent or whatever it is, or it can be short-term rental, it can be you making your income, you're making money. Monthly, you're making 10,000. And in 12 months, you're making 120,000 for those 20 properties. This is solely, we are looking at single family. We are not looking at multi-unit. If you have multi-unit, you can also put it at each unit, It may be less for multi-unit. You may not get 500 on each unit or multi-unit, but we are focused on single family right now. And you can use it with multi-unit. You can do this even faster. You can do it faster. So now, in 10 years, with all your properties, your estimated portfolio is valued at 4.2 million with each property that you own. If they look at your portfolio and say, you have 20 property, maybe each one of them worth a certain amount, and you see that you are worth 4.2 million in assets. Equity, so now you're not looking at what is the deal now? But you think maybe I'm still having a loan on, I'm still having loan on them, but they are still your property. You own them. I'm going to show you how you can even pay off all the loan at a particular time, some of the loan, and keep paying off, and then own them freely at a certain milestone. So equity will continue to grow. Renters will continue to pay, and the property will continue to appreciate. Right, you're going to receive appreciation. Property, they're not going to be the same amount that you bought them in the last 10 years. So, next slide. So your retirement goal, if you're looking to make 120 in passive income for retirement, that is just a roadmap, a simple roadmap. Passive income, 120 years, you got it. You pay down mortgages for higher income. You can take some of the money in this property that I've appreciated and pay down some of the mortgages that have high interest, pay them down, and then you increase your income. If you want to increase from 120, you can pay down some, use equity on another one that is, then you use it to pay off the high interest one. So you will increase your cash flow with that. So now, as you keep doing that, you find out that you have about 250K because you now paid down. You are no longer, it's no longer at 120,000 because you have paid down some of this. You now receiving monthly higher than the usual cash flow, because now when your mortgage reduces, your cash flow will increase. That is if you are stopping. If you're just doing this and you're just stopping at 10, 20 properties. But if you are not stopping at 20 properties, your portfolio will keep growing. So now you have built a life of legacy. There is no child of yours that will stay with you through that process that will not understand how to build, how to create wealth if they are working with you. And what I tell people, carry your children along as you are. Make sure you are working them through this process. Let them understand how to make money without depending on jobs. It's good to go to school. It's good to get those to get university degrees. It's good for all those beautiful things. But one thing that will stay with them is what they can produce. That is so big for me. I want to be able to, anywhere I am, I want to be able to, I don't want to be dependent on somebody paying me salary. I want to be able to create. So the mindset of a creator, like creating wealth, building wealth, creating life of financial freedom so that they can also help others, because they're not just going to help themselves. They will even help you. They will reduce your burden, right? So you carry them along, and then you are telling them, you're showing them that, guys, this is how to live. And they will follow suit if we do it right. And I have a group. Some people on this platform are in that same group. You will see 16 years old kids. They are already doing real estate. They are doing burr. They are flipping properties. So they can do it. Our children can do it. All we need to do is to put them on the right path. So now we're going to talk about the strategies that we use to build our real estate portfolio. What strategies are we using? We have multiple strategies, but I'm going to focus on the most common strategies and sweet strategies that will change everything if you do them right. So we're looking at buy and hold rental property. We call it buy and hold because this type of investment, you are not doing any renovation. You are just buying it. Maybe, yes, you can do some light renovation. You're not pulling the pan down. You're not pulling. You can even do that if you want. You can change it, but you're not refinancing. You just buy it and put a tenant in there, rent it out. The tenant will be paying your mortgage down every month. Every month they are paying their rent. They are paying down your mortgage. because you're paying your mortgage. Then your property appreciates and you continue to get cash flowing. So this is a simple and straightforward. So this is where some people will buy property and then they ask them to bring 20%, 25%. I don't recommend that at this point, except the property actually makes sense. It's not like I would not bring 50K and or 70,000, put it as a down payment on the property, where I can actually get a property that in 6 months I will own it without that money coming out of my pocket, coming out of my account. So this is a strategy. Some people are okay with this. If you're okay with that, you can do that. Buy the property, make sure the rent is sweet, it's in good location, rent it out, manage it, and get paid every month. And you can, what are the ways that you can fund this? What are the ways to fund this kind of deals? You can fund it with conventional loans. They run from 3% to 5% down payment. You have to put some money down. This is, so in the case that you're living in, so if you're buying it straight as you want to rent it out, you're going to have to put more money, maybe 20%, 25%. So some people use this strategy. You just buy the property, you hold it for a while, then you can turn it to rental. And so you can use conventional loan, you can use FHA loan, you can use house hacking. What is house hacking? House hacking is you buying a house, a multi-unit, and you live in one unit and rent the other out. After a while, you move out, put tenants in the two unit, and you can do that even with single families. You buy a property, you stay there a bit, and that's how we even started our own journey. We started. We bought a house, and after 1 year, we moved out and bought another one, and we continued to build. But this is not a convenient one. It's good for single people that are single. They don't have anything. They are moving all around. They don't have families, But if you are married, you have big family, you have even small family, it's not really advisable. But for multi-units, you can do that. People can do that. You can. Some people do that. That's what they do. They keep moving. These guys, I work with them. They were moving they would live in that house for 2 years. If they use FHA, maybe I think 2 years or so, or 1 year, depending on what they require. I forgot about FHA, but if it's conventional, you can move out as quick as 6 months. But you just want to buy it like with they just want to secure it with 3%, where they're not coming out with 25%, 20%. Then that's what we call house hacking. So what will be the return for this type of investment? Passive income. You get passive income, appreciation, tax benefits, stability. We discussed this at the beginning of this training. Passive income is your cash flow that is coming every time. Appreciation, the property is appreciating. Tax benefit, you can write your expenses, you can write your interest, your mortgage interest off as a deduction. And you have stable income coming in. The second strategy is fix and flip. Fix and flip. This is best for active investors. If you can do hands-on, you have time to work on a project, you can do this. Most people that do buy and hold, they don't have the time to manage project, they don't have the time to even do all of the things that we do. So they prefer to just buy and just keep it and keep buying rentals and all of that. But with fix and flip, you want to buy a property just with the strategy I explained initially. You want to buy the property at 90K, you want to sell it at 210. In this strategy, you are not refinancing, you are selling it. And when you sell, you take all your money out, you get all your money. So you pay whoever you got the loan from, or if it's your personal money, you keep all your money, you go to the next one. So fix and flip is for active investors. You buy undervalued property, you renovate it, you sell for profit. Why this is sweet, I'm going to go to the next slide. The next slide is funding. Let's talk about spending. I'm going to say something where we get to the last part. That was what I intended to say, but I'll keep it to the last part. So how do you fund this type of project? Hard money, because they are short-term loan. Hard money loan is short-term loan. People, I mean, you cannot carry hard money over, some people will not do it over 1 year, 6 months. So you cannot. So they will start coming after you if your loan is over, because it's short period, just for you to quickly use it to do the project and pay them off. And it's not even good for you because they come with very high interest rate, unlike the traditional funding. Hard money interest rate runs from 10% to 15%, depending, you can get to 15%, depending on your credit and or your experience. Private lenders can lend you, can put money together to start a fix and flip, to buy it, to rehab it. When you're done, when you sell it, you give them back their money with their interest. Partner capital. You can partner with someone and say, hey, let's do this. We found this property. Let's buy this property. Let's flip it. Let's flip it. We're going to flip it. This property is going to be worth, it's going to be worth 210 after in the next, by the time we are done with what we are doing. So they bring forth their money. You work on the project with them. You buy the property, you rehab it, and then you sell it. Both of you, we agree on the sharing formula. What percentage? That is dependent on you both, or three, not only two people. A lot of people can do this. If you have a huge property, multiple people can finance this, can JV, we call it JV, joint venture partnership. So then what will be the returns for fix and flip? If you are looking for quick cash, you want to get out of debt, you want to get some quick money, this is one strategy that will give you quick money. And when we say quick, it's not like get rich quick, but it's like in 6 months, you'll be able to do, when you do it properly. As they say, quick money is fast cash is also, you have to like pay attention and do it well. If you don't do it well, you may not be able to get the amount of money you projected, or you may get stuck with the property. Then maybe you just rent it out. So you have to do it well. High profit potential, because you are not doing any refinance. You are taking all the money, you are taking all the profit. Remember, in refinance, you're leaving some money in the property, 25%, 25%. But in this case, you're getting all the money. After you sell it, they pay you 210. You pay the people that loaned you on the first phase, pay them out. And in this case, with the current scenario we are looking at, it's 145. You pay them their 145. You walk away with the remaining. So you can see that that's a quick cash, but it's taxable. You just need to understand how to write some expense off to reduce your taxable income on flip. House hacking is another strategy. I just explained that. I will not spend so much time on this because I explained that you buy a house, you stay in it, and you rent it out. Maybe you buy duplex, you stay in one, or you can buy, you stay in one, you rent one out. You can buy triplet, you stay in one, you rent other two out, but you stay there. Then you will move from there to another one. You rent the whole house. The reason why they do this is for lower interest rate. Lower interest rate, and also less upfront money, down payment rather. So your tenant will keep paying your mortgage. How do we fund this? You can fund it with FHA, conventional loan, VA loan. Like I said, the benefit is low entry barrier. No, you come in with maybe 8,000, 5,000 to close on it, depending on the number of the purchase price of that property. And you live in that unit free. You're not paying rent, you're not paying mortgage, you're just saving your money for another project. And you use that to learn landlord skills, how to manage properties. The next one is partnership. Partnership strategy is you collaborating with other people to work on a project to build financial profit. So somebody may bring money, another person find the deals and manage the projects, or if you are 3 or 4, whatever you do, just people, you divide responsibility, divided responsibility. Who is bringing money? Are we all bringing money? Are we all doing? So you have to understand what everybody is doing and align, let everyone align with the contract. You're going to have a contract. Everything we do in real estate these days, you don't want to run a risk. And I know why a lot of people are skeptical about partnering with other people is, so that they will not be defrauded, In the recent time, we are not operating like the old. If I'm partnering with anyone, even my own sister, I make them a document of credibility to show that you are going to pay them. If you are not paying them, this is going to be what the judgment. They're going to take the property. They're going to have a share in the property. That means you can. So once, let's say if somebody partner with you on the project, if you default on the agreement, they can come after that property because you are not owning that property free. They also have money in it. So if you are working with anyone in partnership, make sure they make documentation for you. Legal document is very key. Don't say, I trust you, she's my brother, she's my, my wife's sister and this and that, and you just put your money down. And after that, you start hearing stories. That's not how we operate. You invest strategically. So we move to the next one. This is wholesaling. Wholesaling strategy is also a quick cash investment strategy. If you need money quick, but it takes some amount of work. So you want to understand the market. And then this is how you get find property that are priced under market value. But some of them are not listed on MLS. MLS is multi-listing service like Zillow, Realtor, but you find property that are listed that people want to sell. So by yourself, you have to look for those people that want to sell their property. You look for foreclosure property, you look for probate, pre-foreclosure, you look for probate property, you look for properties that people are willing to let go quickly and get their money cash or other ways. So then you assign the contract. Now you're going to be standing in the middle between the buyer and the seller, but you're not the realtor. You're going to present yourself as the buyer to the person, to the seller, and say, hey, I'm going to buy your property. Or you can make an agreement, they are flexible. I'm going to assign the contract to somebody else. If they agree, it's not common for the people to agree to that, but you are standing like the purchaser, the buyer. In this case, I say, I'm going to buy this property. Let's make an agreement. How much are you selling? And then you go and find somebody that will buy it and add a fee, maybe 10K, maybe 20, depending on the property, depending on the profit. Before you do that, you have to know how to analyze market, how to do your market analysis to understand how much the investor, the person you are selling it to, will be able to make from it, which will cut their interest. If you bring a property to me and say this property is 90K, it's going to be appraised for 130,000. I see people doing that. I see wholesaler doing that. I just block them right away from my phone because they don't know what they're doing. So you need to know all of the, and most people that do this, they don't even have deep knowledge of what it is for an investor to be able to buy that property. I must be able to look at the numbers and see that I'm going to make money. And it's not just money. It's not just 10,000 money. It's not 5,000 profit. You have to project to make like 40K, 30K, depending on that property. We project it from you may not get the whole of that amount, but in case there are items that show up later in the renovation phase, you are able to take care of it without losing your profit. So this will require you to find property, discounted property. You'll be able to find people that will buy it, assign it to them. You collect your fee, assignment fee. You don't need to own anything. You don't even need money to do this. You don't need to have some money or shows. You may have done, there are different platforms, different websites that you can just print proof of income, because the seller may want to see proof of fund, rather, not proof of income, proof of fund, that you can buy it, you can print it out and give them. I'm approved, I'm pre-approved for this. And you use it to lock the deal. When they sell, you're going on you take your profit and move on. So you are not obligated to get a loan, to get a mortgage, to add money, no. You are just in the middle of the transaction, but you make profit and you walk away. So now we have discussed some of these sweet spots, investing in real estate strategy, how to invest, how to really do this professionally and fearlessly. How to start fearlessly is what we're going to talk about right now. Because I know it's good to learn, to really get some knowledge, but we have seen that in the history, or according to statistics, only 5 out of 100 people would take action after a strong training like this. And why is that like that? Fear. People are afraid. What if you get in debt? What if this happens? What if you buy the property and the tenants, they did not pay? What if this and that? If you do it well, and then this is what I do in my coaching. I train people how to do it well, because if you make mistake, you can be, but if you do it right, do it step by step, know what to do at every stage and do it right, you will be fine. You'll be fine. There's a risk in everything, even the breath that we breathe. It's risk. But people that we have seen that are successful today, the big companies that we are seeing today, they are risk taker. They are fearless. So I want to challenge you, be fearless. If you want to really build a future that will give you comfort at the end of your life, that you don't want to run etasketa, take some government benefit and all of that, and start telling your children's story, why you didn't make it, why this happened, why people betrayed you, why this. Now is the time. We cannot afford to sit in this community, in this economy. I believe everyone here, we are in United States. If you are in Canada, please, I know it's almost the same. So I know some people joined from Canada last week and some people from UK. It's just, as long as you are in the Western world, it's the same across the board. So I'm going back to how to build fearlessly. You need to understand how to analyze the property. Numbers don't lie. We don't buy property based on emotion. We don't buy property based on how we feel. Okay, I think I know that area. You may know the area, you may not know what works in that area. So you have to understand if the market is a buyer's market, a seller's market, or a renter's market. So what does that mean? If the people that live in this geographical location, they are people who drives, who own their home. For me to go and buy a property and say I want to rent it in that place will be a mistake. And if this area is for people who actually just commute, they get on the bus, rent, that is a rental location. You can, even though you can find property that a single owner property there, you look at the geographical location, look at the general statistics of that area, and see numbers of people that are boarding bus, commuting to work and all of that without, so you look at that, you make sure you do your critical analysis, and there's a way to do that. So the scope of real estate investing is not something we can discuss in 2 hours and you get it. It's a whole lot more than this if you really want to do it in a creative way. Understand financing. I just explained some phase of financing to us, but there are other information that are really deep that will be, why you need to understand. Make research. Know your market. I just mentioned that. Know the market. Identify which market works for your strategy, and go with it. Build your power team. Build your power team. Who are the power team? People you'll be working with. Your realtor. Your realtor must be an investor-friendly realtor, not somebody who is buying property for homeowner. Homeowner realtor, they are not so motivated to take you to go and tour a property that they are selling for 80K, 90K. They want to show you property that they are selling at 250, 500,000, 400,000 because they're going to make good chunk of interest. Remember, they are paid by commission. So, but if they are investor oriented, they understand the deal, they will be motivated. So you have to look for one. And if you want to look for some, you go on Facebook. There are groups of realtors, investor-friendly realtors, or you can even look at those houses they are selling in your area that a flipper is selling. Who is the realtor that listed it? I found one of my realtors just like that. They listed the property for sale, and I look at it, and it's fixed up under market value. So I called them. I said, "Can I see this property?" They said, "No." They said, "Yes." But when I ask some questions, you have to ask questions that you're not just driving all around. I asked them some questions. By the time they will answer all the questions, I know that property is not a good fit for me. So I did ask them, "Are you open to work with me?" Because I saw that they listed some property like the shape of what I want. So if they're doing that, they are listing property under market value, it means that they will be interested to even show you. You understand? So I connected with them, and up to date, I'm still working with them. Another person that needs to be set of people or person that needs to be on your team, lender. You have to establish a relationship with Add Money lender, private money, credit cards. You can use your credit cards. See, this is one of the coolest things that we are seeing right now. You can use your 0% APR interest credit card, 0% APR card to fund a deal from start to finish. If you have the right credit line, and you can stack up credit cards for your business. One thing I want to say about Add Money lender is that they don't lend to an individual. They lend to business when it comes to real estate investing. Some few of them do, but most, 99%, they lend to businesses. So you have to be ready to create your business, your LLC. Private money can lend with anything. Credit cards, you have a credit card that is sitting there. You have 50K, you have 30K, you have multiple of them. 0%, they say you don't have to pay any interest in the next 1 year. What stops you from using it to do a deal? How do you use it? Those are the things we teach in our, training. So, like I said, it's a lot more, but we are trying to just give you some things that you can get started with without, you can still do some research more. You can get more information that you need to get you going. The next people that you need is contractor. Contractors are the people that will do your renovations. The roofer, the person that will do the roof, the flooring guy, the carpenter, different. They come, but you can shop for them on Facebook or by referrals. Even your realtor, you can get realtor by referrals. So contractor are part of your team. These are the team. And mentor is a key when you want to build a huge portfolio. If you don't want to do it as hobby. If you want to do real estate as hobby, you can just buy one property in 3 years, 5 years, it's fine. But if you want to do it like a business, you need a mentor, somebody who will be able to look at you when you want to buy that property and look at it with you and say, "Hey, don't go. I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that," because you don't know. You're just getting started. So that will help you to save yourself some headache. I remember when I was getting started, I've watched YouTube. I know a lot in my head. I can talk about it. But laying my hands on, really execution, like doing it on you enter a house that, remember the house that we are dealing with, the houses, they are not finished property. They are houses that they are not ready to move in property. They are not turnkey. They are houses that will need work. So when you enter into a house, you should be able to look at the wall and say, "Hey," looking at a crack and be able to identify that it's not just cosmetics, it's foundational problem. Looking at the basement, looking at the, different things, and be able to say, "Okay, this is a risk, this is not." And that comes with experience, like doing it and doing it again. You start building capacity, start understanding how to identify profitable deals and how to identify money pits. We call some property money pits, because you would think they are good on the surface. By the time you start, that's when you will know that you are in it, because they take more than what you can see on the surface. And it takes a very experienced person or individual to know those things, to see those things. Some seller will even cover things for you. They don't want to, they will have covered, use some stuff to cover the wall so that you're not seeing the cracks. And even when you see these cracks, not all cracks are foundational problem. Not all cracks are big issues. Why not all cracks are that you can bypass? They may be foundational problem. So this is very important. And property manager, if you are going into multi-unit, single families, multiple of them, start building. Your first, you may not need property manager. Second, you may not need third. But when you start building, you need to get the headache off you. Get somebody to do it for you. They charge, I think, 10% of monthly rent. Let them do the work. You just manage, keep building the business. The one person that I forgot to add to this is your legal person, your attorney. You need an attorney, somebody who will draft your legal document for you, who will help you to look at legal documents. Some of them do closing. You can close with their company, So yeah, these are the people you need. So talking about numbers, know your numbers. In this business, it's all about numbers. It's all about numbers. If your numbers are not working, nothing will work. So no matter how beautiful that house looks, no matter how the street looks, no matter what is inside that house, if the math is not mathing, it's a waste of time. So you have to know your numbers. Numbers are, knowing your purchase price, knowing potential rent, sales price, how much you can sell it, knowing expenses, knowing that when you enter into property and then you look at it, without you taking a contract, or even you have to take a contractor when you're getting started, knowing what it will cost for you to, like, the estimate of what is going to cost to fix the property to where you can sell it, to the price point where you are looking to sell it for. So it's very, very important that you understand this cash flow, knowing how much will the cash flow be. And that we use tools for that. Life is easy, but those tools, they are not cheap, they are not free. So we use tools to analyze, we call it deed analyzer, to analyze, just put your property information, put the numbers, it gives you an idea of your monthly payments, your cash flow, based on the numbers you have input, and then your estimate for rehab in one or two glasses, so you're okay. Then you have to know your exit plan. What am I doing with this property? Am I going to sell it? Am I going to keep it for rental? Am I going to do short-term rental? Am I going to do mid-term rental? Am I going to do, travel nurse? Whatever you want to do, you have to understand that before you even start transaction on that property at all. So what I tell people, what I train my people to do is to have minimum of 2 exit strategy on the property. Say you want to buy that property, you want to flip it. You are so excited to flip. Make sure that same property also will pass for, if you are holding this, if you are doing borrow. Because let's say after you have done all the work, you couldn't get a buyer. Or let's say your contractor did not do a great job, the value you put it to that you expected was not, you can't get it sold at that particular point. You can revert your strategy to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go to bank and refinance this property, get all my money out and rent it out. It's a win-win. So you have to have minimum of 2. Or do you want to say, okay, let me just turn this to a short-term rental. I'm just going to use this for Airbnb, for mid-term rental, vacation rental, and all of that. So you have to understand these key items. They are very, very important, very key. So start small and scale. Don't be excited to rush and go and buy multi-units when you don't even have an idea of how to build one, how to manage one piece. That can be a big problem. You need to get knowledge. One thing that I'm big with is knowledge. Like, you have to get knowledge. Knowledge is everything. When you know, you can do. But what you don't know, you cannot do. So get knowledge, understand how things work. Even before you start buying it, understand, if you have to pay for knowledge, pay for knowledge. Knowledge is power. First deal builds confidence. Once you're able to do that first deal, oh yes, you do it successfully, you can go on and on and on and on and on and do more. Momentum compounds success. So as you keep doing it, you keep doing it. So it's not that you buy one and because you encounter some challenges in the course of the project, you're like, okay, I think I'm just going to wait and do this in another 3 to 4 years. That is not how we build. You have to be intentional and go momentum by momentum, and you will see the success you're looking for. At this point, I've covered a lot. I will want to take questions. I will just reduce my screen so I stop sharing. And if you want me to share, because I can't actually see, okay, I think I can leave it like this. So I will take questions at this point if you have questions. I cannot see the chat because of this slide I'm showing. Let me see. End slideshow. Okay, let me end slideshow. Okay, now I can't. I can't still do that. Okay, so questions, please. If you have questions on what I've taught so far.
Hi, Sister Mary. There's a question in the chat. You want me to read it for you?
Thank you, please. I will appreciate it.
It says, how can one buy multiple properties without negatively impacting their credit score? My understanding is even hard lenders will require some medium scores.
Yeah. So how can one buy multiple properties without negatively impacting their credit score? My understanding is even hard lenders will require some medium scores. Yes. So you remember what I said from the start of this training, you need good credit score to start. You need, some people require 620, 610, but you can buy multiple without messing up your credit score. How? When you establish a relationship with a lender, hard money lender, the first time they pull your credit, some of them, once they pull it once, you can, I think like 90 days or so before it expires. Some of them, the first time they pull soft pull. So I have some lenders that will do soft pull throughout, and I've been working with them. So that way I was able to reserve my credit score. They do soft pull throughout, hard money lender. They will not do hard pull. Some of them will do soft pull from the beginning of the loan. When you accept the loan, they will do hard pull. And that pull is about, for me, I've not seen a huge pull on my credit, rather than maybe 5 points, and then before it will grow. So if you want to do multiple properties at once, once they pull the first one, once they pull your credit the first time, they will use that for the other one, except you are using different lenders. So if you are using different lenders, they may also want to pull. So you are the one to manage how people pull your credit. And the way I have done that is to identify lenders that will lend without hard pulls. We have some of them. I hope that is clear. Somebody put did I answer that question? Please, if you are satisfied with that, let me know. Give a thumbs up. If you're not, I'll break it down again. I think that's from Charles. Are you clear with that explanation? Okay. Another question in the chat. Can you explain RET and how a beginner can get started? So RET is investment part of it. I'm not covering that in this class. It's the investing part, I'm talking about practical investing. Yeah, this is like you're buying like a share, like you're investing but in real estate. They are real estate shares you're buying. So I'm not covering that in this training, and I don't think I want to go into that. Sorry. I can connect with you if I have some detail. I can get those because of our time. Questions?
I have a question, Sister Mary.
Go ahead, please.
Is it a must if you are like starting to buy like a property, is it a must for you to have an LLC?
Yes. So for you to start out, you have to start out professionally. If you want to start it as a business, if you want to do it as just, I just want to buy one for my house, I just want to live in it, you don't need an LLC. Or you just want to buy another one, you already own one, you want to buy another one just for rental, you don't want to do business. Business is that you're doing it consistently, you're doing it. So if you want to use any of this strategy that I shared here, one of them you don't need, I mean, like few of them you don't need an LLC. Like if you're doing creative financing, if you're doing house hacking. But if you're looking to establish a good business, you need to create an LLC. And it's so simple, under 200, I think, to create an LLC. So you have to do it as a business. And there are so many benefits to that, because when you set up an LLC, it covers you. You're not putting your personal assets in line. So let's say anything happened to that property, before something happened, they cannot come after your personal property. They only go after what that LLC owns. And what we do in this business is also that we create different LLC. So maybe you put two property in one, and when you're doing another one, you don't put everything in one LLC, so that if there's any lawsuit, anything happen, you are not going to be hit like in a big way. So this is not to scare anyone. I've not had any issue with any those, and I don't have people around me who have had issue with lawsuit and all of that. But you know, in this economy, we try to protect ourselves. So LLC protects you, covers you from things that, you know, so it's like you use something to cover your face. LLC is like a covering. They are not looking at you, they are looking at the LLC. So it's advisable for you to create an LLC for that. So what is the minimum amount to invest that can qualify you as a partner investor? So this depends on individual and is based on deal. So partner investor, it depends on the owner of the project. They can decide what they need and what the amount of profit or whatever it is, or to determine what the partners will get. And like I said, it's based also on contribution. How much are you contributing to that project? You know, say we have a project, we are doing a property. Let's use that same example. We are doing a property, we need 145 to do it, and you come with 50,000. You that come with 50,000, you're not going to be able to run the project. I'm going to still run it. I'm going to look for the remaining money. It can be a partnership, but it's not going to be like, it's going to be like a small profit level. Like you're not going to have a huge chunk of profit, but you can always decide that. They can always be decided. I would say if you're starting out, you want to start out in that way, and maybe you have 20, you can start 10K, 20K, you get 12%. And what I did then was I used that to get knowledge. If you start partnering with investor, they are able to take you on their projects. You work with them along on the project. You will see everything. You understand everything, and you can launch out and roll out. You know, so the minimum, I cannot say minimum. It depends on the project. Because projects vary. I have done a project that I only spent about 40K on everything. I bought the house 20K, put 15,000, and everything was 40K. So the person, somebody gave me 50K on that project. I gave them 12%. They are not, you know, so it's not like, but you can do another project that is huge amount of money. But if the person, I'm going to fund it, then you can say 50-50. You can say 60-40. You can say 30-70, depending on their contribution. So that's how it is. I hope I answered that question very well. Okay, the next question is, what percentage do you advise one who want to invest in properties? What percentage do you advise one? Percentage, I think I'm not catching that. What percentage do you advise one who wants to invest in property? Is that like, if you are investing
I think the person means if somebody wants to invest, how much percentage should we be discussing here? What should be the percentage of interest? What are you giving me? What am I getting?
Okay, so it depends on, like I said, almost the same thing with what I just said. Thank you so much for clarifying that. So if you're looking to invest in a property, it depends on the price. Okay, as a lender, okay. So it depends on your part. How much are you bringing? So if you're bringing 20K, 10% or 12% is about maybe so small. if you're bringing on a project of 150, if you're bringing 20K, the percentage will be, the money will be low. By the time you calculate, you look at it, let's look at it, 20,000 times, 20K times 20%, times, 10%. $2,000. It's $2,000, but let me say, to that $2,000, you get it in 6 months. So if you're bringing 20K, instead of your 20K to sit in the bank and be getting 0.2, in 6 months, you get that 2K. And this is what I do with people. They get that 2K, that will help them to even roll that money over to the next project. So in a year, they can get 4,000 on that 20K. But if the money is seated in the bank account, you cannot get that much, right? We all know that. So it depends on the project. If you're bringing a chunk of money in a project to part as a lender on the project, depending on the amount of the cost of the project, if you're bringing chunk amount of money, let's say we are doing this particular deal right now, the one that I use as an example, we are doing 145 project, and you come up with 120. I just have to look for 25. It's not going to be the same percentage I'm going to give the person that come up with 50,000, right? Or 30,000. So it varies, but you can always ask the person, how much are you, this is how much I'm willing to invest. How much can you give me? And they will tell you if it works for you. If it doesn't work, you understand. But for me, I've seen it works, because for me, when I was doing that, keeping my money in the account and they are not giving me anything, I don't like keeping my money in the bank. So I would rather secure it and get something in return and multiply it until when I'm comfortable to step out and build. Okay. Somebody also asked, how can someone, Jumoke, you can unmute and talk, please. Jumoke, please unmute and say something and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time and all you've done ever since we started this meeting. I'm not based in US, I'm in UK. So I'm just asking, is it possible for somebody from UK to partner with another person over there?
That we have to look at it because of the currency. You have to actually look at it and see if it makes sense. So you can talk to that person and let them look at you guys. We have to now look at it from currency perspective. If it will what you're investing, based on the return. Once you discuss, you will know. But I've not partnered with anyone in UK. I'm just working with people in US. So we work based on our currency, but converting dollar to pound may be something that you want to look at and see how it works. And maybe based off that, you guys can agree, okay, I'm going to give you this based on this and that. That can be discussed with the person.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a great question, though. Yeah, that was a great question. So somebody says, how can someone from I just answered that. If you use your money of friend on a BRRRR project, I believe they want to write BRRRR project. BRRRR is BRRR. B and then 4R. So BRRRR project, how do you get the property refinanced by the bank? This is, a great question. So if you do BRRRR project is, remember, you buy the property, you renovate, you rent it out, you refinance, and then you repeat the process. You can bring bank in? You cannot bank will not finance your project from start, but they can refinance it at the end. So let's say you are done with the work. They need you to have the tenant in that property. Bank will want you to have a tenant. You have to have a tenant, have the lease, have the proof for their deposit, their first month or whatever they want to ask. Then you can go to a bank. It's just that bank will ask for your proof of income, your tax return. They will go a little bit extra other than. So I want to also introduce this to you. There is a type of loan that is used for refinance. If you're going to refinance a renter, it's called DSCR loan. DSCR loan. DSCR loan is a loan that lenders will not ask you for your personal income. They will not ask you for tax return. I sent it in the chat. DSCR loan is called DSCR loan, debt service to income ratio. So you look at that. So they are not looking at how much you're making as a person. They are looking at the property. How much is the rent of that property? This one is solely for rental property. It's not for fix and flip. They are not looking at, okay, if you make how much money in the whole year, what have you? They are not. They are so interested in that property that you're renting out. How much is the rent? How much is the current market value? And you can do a cash out refinance, TSL cash out refinance. You can cash out as well with that. You can use it to buy from start. Say you want to buy and hold. You can use DSCR. If it's a renter, you can say, okay, I'm not going to do any work. This property is ready just for me to buy it and put renter. You can approach a DSCR loan lender. And usually Add Money loan does this. Add Money lender does this DSCR. You ask them for DSCR loan. They will loan, let's say the property is 210, you are buying at 210, you are not doing any work, and then your rent is about 2,500. They will work the math with you. They will lend you, they will give you a DSCR loan on that property. And if you want to cash out, if there's excess to cash out, you can also ask for cash out refinance DSCR loan. So they will still cash out, give you some amount of money on that one. So I would say if you want to do borrow project, when you finish, bank is good because their rate is always not always, it's lower a little bit than that. Their closing cost especially is lesser than what a Add Money lender would do for you to refinance. So you can use Add Money to start, or private money, whatever, then refinance it to DSCR or go to bank to refinance it. Add Money also does refinance, cash out refinance. So I hope that answered that question. The next question is, how does trust work? Trust is, so you use trust also to build wealth. So in such a way that trust is like an entity you just set up, to cover yourself, to make sure that everything is in line. Nobody's coming to claim your assets, So when you set up trust, you can use that trust. I can't go in details to explain trust as a whole, but I can just give you a pathway to real estate, how it links to real estate. So if you have it, you put everything that you own in a trust, your asset, you can leverage that to buy property. So now your trust is the one buying the property, not you. But you're going to be listed as the owner of that trust, or as the beneficiary of that trust, rather. So when you're listed as a beneficiary, you can operate with that trust. You can manage the project. You can even write yourself check. You still own it. But this way, it's your trust that is owning it. So trust is more like you have set up a system for your wealth, to manage your wealth. They usually say it's for rich people, but at this point in time, it's for everyone. If you want to manage your asset, protect your assets against any unnecessary claim or whatever it is, put them under a trust. People cannot just come and claim your house when it's in trust. They cannot come and claim any lawsuit against your property when the trust is owning it. Thank you, sir. Amen. So it said that it is insightful and informative. May I know how best to get started? What are the basic investment and scope? Oh, so yeah, that is like you question that is unlimited, but I will try to kind of make it simple for you, sir. So how to get started depends on what strategy you choose to use. So if you try to just do buy and hold, you can buy the property and hold it in. But first, you must prep yourself to have if you want to do it as a business, you have to set up an LLC. When you set up an LLC, you set up your team. You have your team, people, your realtor that will be working with you to find the property. You have your attorney, you have your lender. if you're going to be using Add Money lender, you look for them, you get them, you talk to them about your business. This is what I do, because anytime you find a property, the seller needs a proof of fund. You need to get that proof of fund from that Add Money lender so that they can send it to the seller. So you need to start an LLC. You need to understand how much you looking to, how much do you, even though we said that you can start with zero, but you still have you need some money, or you need people around you who can like be a private lender. So for every Add Money loan that you're getting, they will always ask you for, let's take that same number that we're using. If you're buying a property at 90K, you're looking to rehab it for 55K, and everything comes to 145. The Add Money will loan you 90, up to 90. For some people, it's 75%, some people it's 80%, some people it's 85%. And it's also based on experience. So they will loan you up to 90%. Let's use 85% or 80%. Let's use 80% as a yardstick. They will loan you 80% of that 90K for your project. They will loan loan you 100% of the 55,000 for rehab. Why? They are going to loan you the total amount of, let's look at that. The 90,000 times 80%, 72,000 plus 55,000. So they will loan you 127,000 out of 145. So you are supposed to come out of pocket with that 18,000, the difference. But this is how we do it. When Add Money is taking that 127,000 loan, I'm looking for a private lender, somebody who would love to make more money. Instead of keeping their money in the bank account, they put maybe 18,000. They give me 18,000 to get 12% or 10%, depending on the project. 12% interest, and I'm going to give them their 18,000 with their 12% interest once we complete the project. So that's the way we cover that you don't have to come out of pocket. But for some people, if you don't have anyone that will do that, you need to have like that amount of money set ready, so that because you still have to bring something to the table, or you have credit card that can be liquidated for that amount. So now we talk about you creating an LLC, you find your lender, you set up an amount that you understand what you want to do, and determine what price point are you going to be investing. Am I going to be buying properties from 150,000? Am I going to be buying something lesser from 80,000, from 100,000? That is not even, we are not even yet there. First is you have to do your market research. Understand the market that you are going to be investing in, because not all the markets are profitable. Markets are not the same across America, United States, or wherever you are. You have to understand, because in some area, California, you can buy houses at, you cannot, I don't think you can buy houses at 80,000, 50,000, 70,000, 90,000, even in New Jersey, even in some areas, some states. I have a friend that lives in California, but they are investing in Maryland, because California is too expensive for them. I have people in New Jersey that are investing here because houses in New Jersey will not accommodate their investment budgets. So you need to understand the market you are investing in. Once you identify that market, you have to create an LLC in that state. Or you can still carry the LLC that you have in another state, but you have to register it in that state. So then you go establish a bank account for that business. Establish a bank account for that business. Then to get a lender, get your realtor, and then you start doing deals. So when it comes to the funding part, that's the most challenging part for people. But I tell you, funding is not a challenge if you know how to really work in the system. So you have to let people understand you as a business. When people see you as a business, you can be trusted than you going to them and say, come and lend me, I want to do project, come and lend me 50,000. They will just look at you like, are you serious? But if you present it as a business, you have to make sure your business is registered and well organized, and show them your credibility. You can create a credibility package, like a document that says what your business is all about, and then that document will also explain what you're trying to do with them as a private lender. What will be their profit? So you hand it over to them and say, I want to introduce my business to you. This is what I do. And they will go through it. They say, okay, if they want to partner with you. If they are not partnering the first time, that doesn't mean they will not partner the next time. Maybe they can't trust you yet. As you keep doing it, they start seeing your traction. They start trusting the business. They may want to come back and invest with you. But yeah, money is the key. Get money ready. How to get funding? How are you going to get funding? Get it set up and start investing. It's more detailed. Like I said, it's not everything. We can't cover everything. Even if we have this class for 5 days, or we cannot cover everything. So that is why suggesting if you want to do this as a business, you have to make sure that you get coaching. You have somebody who is there to hold your hands and say, this is what to do. So it will help you to scale through some errors. But if you want to do it like, I just want to invest, I just want to put this money on something, you don't need any coach. Just do what I said, do your analysis, and start. You can buy the property and then get some people ideas on it, or if you're okay with it, you can buy outrightly and then move on. So I hope that helps. So what are the basic investment? Okay, I just explained that. So that's the basic. You establish your business, a trustworthy business. You create a bank account for that business, because lenders will be interacting with that bank account. If you don't have a business bank account, they may not be able to relate with you. You open your business, you get EIN for the business, employment identification number for the business. And that's how you keep building. I hope that answered the question. Are there more questions? Contribution, if you have something to say that you think might benefit. I mean, you want us to listen, or you want to share something that stood out to you in this training? So the floor is open now for questions. Let's get some clarity. If you have any question. Okay, Franklin, you can unmute yourself.
So you talked about investing in another state.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you don't have anybody in that state? Would you have to be in that state or go there to see the property yourself?
Yeah, so thank you so much. That's a very good question. We do it professionally, like you can do it. So first, if you don't have anybody there are people that we call boots on the ground. So number one, if you want to build a business in a state where you are not, you need to establish a realtor that lives in that state, that lives close to wherever you are investing. Make sure that you can work with a realtor or realtors, many of them, not just one. So in this business, we don't stick to one realtor. So don't go and sign agreement with any realtor that I'm going to be working with you, and then you cannot work with other realtors. So let them know that I'm going to be working with you based on one property. I just want to ship that in. So you have to look for a realtor in that area. Then you look for boots on the ground. We call them boots on the ground. Contractors, people who we help you to go. When you find a property now, they will go there and look at it for you, check all this thing. They know, because they are contractors, they have knowledge. So you make sure that you check them out, make sure that you look at this thing, and then they will go there and view the property and tell you, if they take photos for you, if it's okay for you to invest in. If you are okay, once you get on contract, make sure you're on contract, they accept your contract, make sure you take a flight or drive wherever to that property to go and see it yourself. So if you see it yourself and make sure that everything is okay, then you start working with a contractor who will be working on that project. When they're working on that project, they are updating you weekly or a few days. You follow up with them. And then what you will do also is that as they are working on there, you have to install a camera. you install a camera in that house, in front of that house, or as many locations that you want, so that you are monitoring how they are coming in and going out of the house. Because some people, you will give them projects, they will not come into, they will go and they will take your money and go and be doing other people's work, and they will. I teach a lot on how to really secure yourself in that area, because that can break your business. You have to make them sign contract. I have contract that I give my contractors to sign. They sign contract. When they sign contract, they are serious, because they know that if they default, if you waste my time for one day, if you exceed one day, you're paying me $100 per day. So they are on top of their tax. They are not relenting, drawing back. So that's how to do it. But you also have to be you'll be ready to move in and out to supervise the project, or you have a project manager in that location. Project manager is somebody who work in that area, can manage your project. You pay them, it's not, but you can make an agreement with them. You manage my project, you give me updates and this and that. You will still make profit, but you will be sharing part of your profit with them. So that's how we've been doing it, and it's working. So yeah, Mr. Dele, I hope that before I go to Mr. Dele, frankly, I hope that clears your. Did that answer?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, Mr. Dele, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Adesanya. And honestly, sometimes one needs to really get close to know that you are having potentials that you have not tapped. So I want to say that kudos to you, Ma, for these few weeks that we've stayed together for training. It has been awesome time. My question is this: I believe in synergy, and so some people, maybe because they trust me or a partner that we know will be coming for some time, and because I look at it when when you were using the projection of like 20,000, I believe that that's the minimum, and for one to really do very well, you must be spending upward of between 50 and 100,000. So now the question is, now you are bringing a friend in, maybe I have 50 and he is bringing like 50. Are we coming to you for you to be able to prepare like a document in terms of business? Because there's no way I could break down all this to him for him to be able to understand. What is your advice? Is it that we both come as a team to you, or it's me that will be able to know how to translate all this to him? I don't know if I'm making sense in this question that I'm bringing. Now that I have a friend, if I'm bringing him to you, what kind of agreement, what kind of relationship are we looking at for us to be able to thrive in this business? That's my question.
Sorry, I thought I was muted. So thank you for that. I think I caught some of the question. I mean, I think I understand, but I want to make sure that I have a full understanding of what you're asking. So you have a friend who wants to invest. So you have them.
Yes.
You have them with you, right?
Right.
So, do you want to invest with them, or you want to? I want to understand my part where I come in. I just want to understand.
Of course, I have my own part. That's why I mentioned like, okay, this is amount I want to invest. You understand? And I know that looking at when you look at 2050, what is coming to me after 6 months is something that I believe that why should I tie my 2050 to at the end of the day coming to get like 2,000 to 4,000 every 6 months? So, and that is the perspective of looking at, okay, can I get another person who trusts me? Like if I say, okay, that person should come and meet you now, I already know you, and of course we've come a long way. So, and I know that yes, my money is safe with you, but my friend may not really understand my partner. So bringing my friend Adele, I am doing this because of you. How do you cement a cordial relationship
The documents
between?
together.
Yes,
Mm.
that is my question.
Okay, thank you for that. I mean, that is clear now. So, first, I want to say the goal of this training is to get everyone started, regardless of where you are. And Mr. Dele, I know you have been trying, you've been like awesome trying to get something done all this while. So what if you are looking to partner, and in this case, I will not focus on myself. You can partner with anyone. If you're looking to partner with someone, they would have a document already stated, which regardless of the relationship, either you trust them or not, or they close to you or not, they must have a legal statement, and that document can be drafted by your attorney. In my case, I created it. My attorney filtered it, and we went through it. But you just need to know what to put together. But if you are coming to invest with me, I have a system. One of the things we do here, we set up system. I have a system that I don't even need to think about it. I hand over that to them. They read about what we do and all of that. They understand what we do. They understand what the return is. So that gives them, so you are not liable to them, but my company, let me use myself right now. My company is liable to them now. Though you are in the middle, but because there is a document that my company signed to them, my company is responsible to take care of them, make sure that everything works well. In the transaction, you are not involved in any way, like risk, because you are coming as an investor, they are coming as an investor. So whoever you're doing it with, they must be able to give the person, even you, a document that this is what they will state everything clearly, amount that you're investing, the rate, the interest rate, the due period, and there must be a penalty if they default. So they will say that you are the property that they must take the property that you're investing in. So if there is, and then it must be notarized. Notarized means now it's a law, it's a legal document. So at any point you have that document, they have that document. At any point in time where there is any issue or so, we don't pray for that, but let's say things happen to them, something, you can use that document to leverage that property. That property also belongs to both of you. Do you understand what I mean? So they will not sell that property. They cannot sell that property because you become a lien on that property because of that document. I don't know if anybody understands lien. Lien is, and the property is a debt that is
Lien
owed
is
to the
something
property.
that, it cannot
So
be sold or something like that until
they
when
must settle you,
everything is clear.
settle them before that property will be sold. So that is why in my business, people that I partner with, at the point of sale, people that invest in my business, at the point of sale, they get their money. Sometimes it's directly from lender. Lender would take, if you are refinancing, the add money lender or the DSR, whatever you're using. Once you tell them that you are owing so on this property, they will tell you to give them their information, whatever it is. They will be the one that will pay that person. But if you are refinancing, because they know that they don't want anybody to have debt on the property that they are financing for you. They are financing for you. But if you're selling, I usually do it at the point of sales. You can tell the closing company, this amount go to this person. So that money is not even coming to your account, so that the government would not. So it shows in that document that you did not receive the whole amount. You send them out, and you must be able to back it up with documents when you are filing your tax as investment. So to go back to that, the person you are not responsible for that person, but the company they are investing is responsible for them. And if the people are not comfortable, don't talk them into it. I like people to be, they are ready to do it. So so that's one of the things I do with my partners. I bring them into training. I educate them so that they understand how everything works. So when they understand, I have people that are partnering with me now, they are investors. They understand. So I'm not waking up and somebody is calling me. Is property not sold? Where are we? They understand, because when they have the knowledge, they know how everything is going. You will update them, I update them, but I don't want to deal with any headache. So if you are working with somebody, make sure that they are comfortable with whatever, even if it's on your own project, they are all out for it. If they are not all out, don't try to explain things and talk them and follow. Let them be willing to do it. So if they are willing, they are the one that will be following and be calling you. When are we going to do it? When are we going to? You understand? They are motivated. They should be motivated, in other words, to do it. So, and that's a great question for everybody to learn from and to understand. So my business is a legit business, and I'm not setting up this training because of my business. It's to impart, it's to also show you how to do it so that you can also do the same. You can do better. We can all help ourselves in our community. I mean, in a group of investors, over thousands of people. And when I look at that group, I see our people there, but I'm not so motivated. I'm not so happy to see the number of people that are really doing this. And this is where all of us are. We are sitting on gold mine. So I want us to learn from that. If you are investing with somebody, make sure that there's documentation and they are ready, they are willing, they are ready. I think that's answered that question, Mr. Daly.
Perfectly well, perfectly well, perfectly well.
Yeah, God bless you, sir. Okay, so I have some questions in the chat. Thank you so much for the laudable webinar, sharing your knowledge. You're amazing. Good. God will continue to bless and keep you. It's insightful. Okay, I think I answered that question. Thank you for being, thank you. I want to say thank you. Okay, okay, thank you for, I hope you're, okay, yes, my door is open. My door is open for mentorship. Mentorship starts in about a few weeks. I do it in batch. If anybody's coming for mentorship, it's in batch. I have people that just finished. I'm still working with them. I work with them to get on their first deals. Once they get their first deal, they build confidence and they can do it and do it again. So the second coaching training is coming, I think in February, the last week of February. But I will communicate that. You can reach out to me if you have my number, and we can talk more about that. But that's not for this platform. Thank you so much. Okay, ma'am, do you do extensive training for people that want to? Of course, yes, I do a coaching training for new investors that are coming to invest, taking it as a business. I have a coaching 6 weeks extensive coaching training. After then, they sign up for a mentorship. You can choose to just have the training and move, or you want to sign up for the mentorship. As a new entry into the business, would you recommend buying to keep or buying to flip, considering one does not have money to tie down for a long time? Yes, it depends on you. Like you said, now one does not have money to tie down. You can strategize. This is what I tell people. You can make your first property a flip. Do a flip to get money. Get money and then use that flip, your exit profit to do rent abroad. So talking about money to tie down, even in BRRRR, you're not tying money down. When you do BRRRR strategy, you're not tying money down. It's just that you're not getting a chunk of money. For me, I don't like fix and flip, even though it's a fast cash strategy. Remember, you're doing this business to build wealth, to create a life of freedom. So the goal of this business is to accumulate assets that will grow over time and continue to appreciate and bring profit. But if you're selling them, what do you hold? Because you're selling them, you still collect cash, and that cash is still cash anyways. So this is what I met somebody that had been investing over the years. I met them. I went to check a property, and I talked to them. He was like, he said he sold like a whole street. He showed me all the houses he sold on the street. He's been buying them and flipping them and he owned nothing. So I said to him, I said, which property are you owning? He said, no, I said, you're wasting your life. Seriously, I'm serious about this. So fix and flip is for quick cash, but it's not a long-term strategy to build wealth. Building wealth means that you have properties lined up, that you are getting cash flow every month, that are appreciating year after year, that you can leverage to even do other things. You can pay your children's school loan or school fees just by refinancing a property, by cashing out, So that is how to build wealth. We don't build wealth with fix and flip. You can build money, you can have money, but money does not define wealth, because the money can vanish at any time. Things happen in this world. There are even things crashes, right? Inflation can happen, things can happen. You can get money to get started. Fix and flip in between also is good. You can do one fix and flip, then you do BRRRR in the middle. Do fix and flip to get cash in your hand to keep funding your deals, but not like a permanent strategy. A lot of people that does fix and flip now, they are reverting back to, after so many years of fix and flip, they will now start doing buying property to keep. It's like they are starting the journey over again. After you have stayed like 5 years flipping property, now they started building burr. And it's tough because the money that they were making on the burr, on the fix and flip, they can't even say this is it, because it's one way or the other it will go. So this is what I encourage people. Use a strategy that will last long, that you can rely on, because the essence of this, what we are doing, is to create a life and a path for our family that we don't have to worry for money at some point in our life. That you can say, okay, let's just, in the next 10 years, by the grace of God, I'll be fine. So somebody raised their hand. I will raise my hand. So that's I believe that is the strategy you can choose to even do short-term rental. You can do rental arbitrage. You can rent. If you don't have a lot of money to start now, you can rent. Go and rent a property. Go and rent. Look for a landlord that is renting their property. Maybe the property has stayed on the market for a while. Talk to them. You can use that property to talk to them, let them know what you're doing. That you're doing a short-time rental, Airbnb. They can let you use it, and you are using that property to make money. It's called Airbnb arbitrage. You can do that. So right now you're saying, I don't even have any money to start. But you have money to rent, and you have like a credit card to furnish the house. And you have location, you can research location where you can start short. If you don't want to do, for me, I don't want to do Airbnb daily. You can do midterm. People that travel, nurses, people that travel, professionals, they stay months in your house and they pay you higher than the regular rent. Hope that helps. So further question. Frankly, do you want to ask a question, or that same hand that was raised?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So you talked about the 6 months training.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 6 months training, is it going to be
6 weeks?
Oh, 6 weeks.
Training. Then after that, we go into mentorship. It's like, so after that, so 6 weeks, we're going to be having class back to back. Then that is to pump knowledge, to let them know what to do, to let everybody know. So once they get it, it switched to mentorship. Like we just work with them, then we still meet to talk and analyze what we do, to continue to tell where they are, they share their strategy, and I will still continue to train on different things, because like I said, real estate is not even that 6 weeks we can't cover anything in all of them in 6 weeks, but you will have the full knowledge for you to get started, to be able to launch out, to start doing deals. So, yeah.
So, but we still have help after the 6 weeks, right?
You said what?
We'll still have help after the 6 weeks.
Of course. It's coaching. It's a coaching training. It's not like a teaching class. So coaching means that you are with that person all the way through. So I have some of the people online with me here. So if I'm lying, they will tell you Mary is lying. So it's coaching. Coaching is you are with them all through, get them to the point where they get their first property, work with them, and they continue to build their portfolio. Because the reason why coaching is needed is that if you get 6 weeks and you walk away, you start doing your deals. That's where you actually need help. When you start doing deals, you can get all this knowledge now. And when you want to start doing the project, that's where you need somebody to look at the property and say, they will send it to me. They will send the property to me and say, hey, we found, do your number. They will send it. This is my number. This is my number. This is what I'm seeing. And I will look at it and say, hey, you have to run. This is not it. I'll say, hey, even when they get it, I'll still go to them. We start analyzing. We start doing the renovation. They will send me their contractors estimate. I will review and say, don't go with this person. Go with this person. Ask for this document. Ask for this and that. And with that, they can escape a lot of, error or mistake that people can make in investing. So it's coaching. It's not 6 weeks you're done and you are left limbo. It's like ongoing thing.
I don't know. This might not be. Okay, I have another question. So I have my LLC, but it's not under real estate. Can I switch it, or do I have to get a new one?
Okay. So you said what?
I said I have an LLC. Do I
Mhm.
need to, and it's not under real estate. Do I
Okay.
need to switch it or I should get another one?
If you
Same
have,
same question goes to me too.
yeah, if you have an LLC and it's in real estate, you can use it. In fact, it's good because you've had it for a while. It's not new. So you have it. But if you want to invest in another state, not your state, where the state where you register that LLC, I would say do a new one, a separate one. But if it's that same state that you registered the first one, you still want to run your business, make sure you do, you can use it. You can use it.
No. The question is that the LLC is
Mhm.
not on
Real estate. No.
real estate.
No. You
So
you have
that's the
to
question.
do a new
You
one.
have
I think
to.
somebody even answered that too. You have to do a new
No,
one.
I
But
think she is saying that some people wants to retain the name of the LLC.
yeah,
So is this something you can adjust by the commission if they can bring in real estate into the name of that company?
this is what I say. It's good. Keeping the name is fine, but don't let us be like what we have a lot of names, and either new real estate or old real estate. Even the old real estate may not be able to get funded by lenders or some business something because you have run it, you have had it for a while. You don't have no traction. They will tell you to go and bring your tax reports for that you over the years that you have and maybe you have not filed any tax. It's a red flag to them. So I have real LLC over the years, but for every of my for my transaction for my property, I create a new LLC. Creating a new LLC even also give you a leverage because let me tell you this. If you create an LLC today and you walk into a Chase Bank and say, Chase Bank, I have a new LLC. Maybe you already have their credit card before, personal. I want to open a business account. You will be able to walk out with credit cards, 0% APR that you can use for your business because it's new. But if it's old, they will tell you, go and bring some document to show that you are making money. But because it's new, they will just tell you to project how much are you going to make in a year. So you can project anything. But with an existing LLC, they will tell you, go and bring all the documents and want to see the traction, want to see what, the statement and the bank statement and all of that. So new LLC is a way to go. I don't know why what is lower. So new LLC is a way to go for if you want to start investing in real estate. And also the business model is different. Maybe what you created that for something, maybe for retail, for whatever. In real estate, your LLC must align with what you say you are doing. Because lenders will look you up. They will look that once you send them those info, they're going to look it up. So you want to make sure that they see that this is a real business for you. It's not that you just added to here and there. You have to create business for if you are doing different businesses, make sure don't put different businesses in one. So my advice is that you need to create a new LLC for that if you're starting.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, further questions? As a new entry into the business, okay, I answered that. Are there more questions before we wrap this? Our time is fast spent.
No, sorry, maybe a different question.
Okay.
Mary, so what happens if you have not been filing tax with that LLC and you have that LLC like a general contractor? What happens?
So it means that you're not following. So if you have a general contractor and LLC has been for so many years, you're supposed to be filing your reports. So you file a report. If you're not filing tax, maybe you're not making money, it's fine. But if you are making money and you're not filing your tax, your LLC may not be in good stand. So you have to go to the Secretary of State and get your certificate of good standing for that LLC first to be sure that you are in a good standing. Certificate of good standing, you go to Secretary of State website, the state that you register that LLC. Pull up that LLC name, request for certificate of good standing. They're gonna give you in few. I think it's fast. It won't take you so long. So that once you have that, because even if any lender wants to lend you with that company, they will tell you to go and get this certificate. So it's better that you get it yourself and know that you are in good standing or not before you start using it. So they would not lend you if you have not filed. So filing taxes is key if you are making money with that LLC. Either you are making profit or not, you still need to file the tax. I mean, as long as you're doing transactions, that's what I mean. If either you are making profit or not, let me reverse that. Either you're making profit or not, as long as there are transactions in that LLC, you know, that you're making there's money in and out and this and that, file it. Except you find something else elsewhere that says you don't have to, it's fine. But I'm a believer of doing it right. If you do it right, they come back next 8 years, they still find what you did right. But if you do it wrong, you may not remember where you went wrong, and they start quoting you can't remember. So, are there more questions? And at this point, I think we are all doing good. It's been amazing. Thank you for showing up. I believe you're able to get some value with this training. What I would say is don't sit on it. Start working on it. Our mind can comprehend what we can envision. If you can see it, you can achieve it. And there is nothing that is like, okay, these people can do it, these people cannot. Even if you don't have green card, you can build real estate business. Just structure your business. As long as you have social security and you have credit card, you have credit score, you can still do it. So if you are at a point right now where your credit is not doing well, start building your credit to get to a point. And if you want to do it right away and you feel that your credit is going to be a blocker, you can partner with somebody who have good credit, who have good, everything that you're missing. You can work with them and start working together. And I want to indulge us. Please, I believe most people on this platform are African. We have a kind of mentality, not working together, and kind of it's a freeze on us, debarring us from moving forward in the mentality of, I'm going to get scammed. I'm going to get my money. Building wealth require risk. Everything you're doing in life is risk. But make sure you take a calculated risk. That's what I do. So calculate your risk. Make sure that you are backed up with documents and all of that. If you're investing with somebody, don't say, I don't want to do it with someone so that they will not, you may stay for a long time without investing. If you are not at a point where you can buy property now, you do private money to keep building your capital, to keep piling interest up. If you're at a point where you can do it and you think maybe you don't have the time, partner with someone who can do it. And if you can do it and you're like, okay, I'm afraid, I don't even know if I will lose money, get knowledge. Knowledge is key. I tell you, I was going crazy when I started out, because until I met somebody. I paid through my nose word. I got everything back in my first deal. I got everything plus. If what I invested was like percentage of my profit. So you invest in knowledge. I'm not campaigning for myself. You find people around you, there are some free training also that you can leverage on YouTube. Do pick up training, get knowledge, whatever you're trying to major on, make sure you are empowered with knowledge. It will really be great. And I want to say thank you for joining. On behalf of my church, ACC Impact House, we say thank you, we value you, and we believe we are able to add value because that's what we do. We are a church with impact. Our goal is not to keep moving ourselves forward, and we are, we say because it's a church, the goal of the church is to better the body of Christ, is to add value to people, is to help destinies. So our goal as a church is to help other people to rise so that we rise together. God will bless every one of us in Jesus' name. Once again, we are located in Washington, PA, 25 West Chestnut, Holy Ghost Christian Center, 25 West Chestnut Street in Washington, PA. That is Pittsburgh area. If you have people here, we are a new church. Our big church is in New Union, and we have churches all over the United States. But this location is new. If you have people that are looking to worship in a church, in a family-oriented church, value-adding church, this is a great place for you to be. Connect with me. I'll be able to connect with them, give them some information, and we value all of you. Thank you so much. On behalf of the leadership of the church, thank you. On behalf of myself, thank you. God bless everyone.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. God bless.
Thank you, ma. God bless you.
you,
Bless.
ma. Continue to
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma.
of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you.